There is a reason why some men rise almost effortlessly, as though fortune itself carries them forward, while others struggle year after year, never escaping the grind. The difference is not always found in their hours of work, nor in their connections, nor in their education. The difference lies in what their minds absorb when the world grows quiet. Most men go to sleep with worry in their hearts. They lie in bed rehearsing the bills they cannot pay, the mistakes they cannot undo, the fears they cannot silence. And night after night, those fears are planted deep, repeated until the subconscious accepts them as law. Then they wake to more of the same: confusion, delay, disappointment. But there are a few who treat sleep differently. They understand that the hours of the night are not wasted. They are sacred. They are the hours when the conscious guard is down, and the subconscious, that silent engine of destiny, listens without resistance. And what it hears, it multiplies. Imagine what would happen if for 3 straight hours each night, your subconscious was filled not with fear, but with faith. Not with drifting thoughts, but with definite commands. Not with poverty, but with wealth, abundance, certainty. Imagine the change after 1 night. Then imagine it after 7, after 30. You would not wake as the same man. You would rise clearer, stronger, surer. You would walk into your day with a new current beneath you, as though unseen hands were guiding opportunities to your path. Fortune would no longer feel distant, it would feel inevitable. But if you refuse this, if you treat your nights as the crowd does, if you let them be filled with doubt and worry, then each morning will be the same as the last. The same questions, the same heaviness, the same lost chances. Your days will never change because your nights never changed. This is why I urge you, do not waste another night. Let these hours become your ally. Let these words, repeated again and again as you drift, engrave wealth into your very nature. Fall asleep to abundance, and you will awaken to it. When the world grows quiet and the body surrenders to rest, the mind does not sleep. The conscious guard relaxes, but the subconscious, the eternal worker, listens with open gates. Whatever thoughts are most vivid at that hour slip unchallenged into its keeping. They are multiplied through the night and returned in the form of habit, circumstance, and destiny. Most men waste these sacred hours. They toss with worry, rehearse bills, recall failures, and imagine disasters. They poison their own soil with seeds of fear. In the morning, they reap only what they planted: confusion, delay, and lack. They do not see the connection, but life obeys the last command given to the subconscious before rest. The wealthy use night differently. They understand that sleep is not emptiness, but creation. They choose their final thoughts with precision, planting seeds of riches, faith, and definiteness. They drift into slumber as farmers sowing fertile ground, confident that harvest must come. The next day begins not with confusion, but with clarity, not with fear, but with direction. History shows countless examples. Edison would doze in his chair, awakening with new flashes of invention. Napoleon Bonaparte planned campaigns in dreams. Lincoln was guided through midnight visions that foretold dangers. Many great men credited dreams and nightly thoughts for their decisive actions. The night is silent, but it is never idle. Consider the poor laborer. He works hard all day, returns weary, and lies down with worry in his chest. He pictures bills, imagines hunger, hears the voice of failure. His subconscious accepts these impressions without resistance. The next day he feels heavier, his work harder, his opportunities fewer. He believes fate is cruel, never knowing he commands his own ruin. Now see the master. He too works, but at night he chooses thoughts of abundance. He reads his definite aim, repeats affirmations of faith, and visualizes his fortune. His subconscious receives these impressions and labors upon them through the night. In the morning, he rises with energy, ideas, and opportunities moving toward him. His labor compounds. Sleep magnifies impressions. One fear whispered before rest can grow into a chain of habits that binds a man for life. One affirmation spoken with faith can blossom into courage, persistence, and fortune. The night is amplifier of thought. Poverty or wealth, fear or faith, confusion or definiteness. It multiplies whichever seed you plant. Autosuggestion is the tool by which you plant deliberately. Speak aloud what you wish the subconscious to obey. Repeat it with conviction until emotion is felt. Picture it as fact. Let this be the last act before sleep. Thus you command the night to work for you. Without it, the night works against you, multiplying whatever random fears remain. Affirm, my nights build my fortune. I fall asleep to wealth, and I awaken to it. Speak it aloud tonight. Write it where your eyes see it. Repeat it until belief stirs. Each time worry rises, counter with this affirmation. In time, it will engrave itself upon your subconscious. Your nights will no longer waste. They will build. Think again of the divide. The poor man sleeps in fear, awakens in heaviness, and repeats. The wealthy man sleeps in faith, awakens in strength, and builds. Both rest the same hours, but one wastes them, the other multiplies them. The difference is not time but thought, not labor but law. Night is either servant or master, depending on how you command it. Therefore I charge you, do not waste another night. Choose thoughts of riches, not of poverty. Repeat affirmations of faith, not of fear. Visualize definite aims, not vague wishes. Treat sleep as ally, not enemy. Command your subconscious before rest, and it will labor for you through the night. Refuse, and it will enslave you with fear. The night is the silent architect of destiny. It builds from the blueprints you hand it before sleep. If you hand it worry, it constructs chains. If you hand it faith, it constructs fortune. You cannot escape its work. You can only choose the design. Choose wisely, and wealth becomes inevitable. Choose poorly, and poverty repeats forever. The subconscious mind is the eternal servant of man. It does not slumber when the eyes are closed or when the body is at rest. It works ceaselessly, weaving into reality whatever thoughts have been impressed upon it. Whether faith or fear, riches or poverty, courage or timidity, the subconscious accepts the command without question and builds accordingly. Most men live in ignorance of this truth. They speak of chance, luck, or fate, never realizing that their own subconscious is the silent engine shaping their days. They rehearse debts, imagine failure, and whisper excuses. The subconscious hears each word, accepts each picture, and obeys. Their lives reflect not external fate, but internal command. The servant becomes their master. The wealthy understand the law. They guard carefully the impressions allowed to enter subconscious mind, especially at night. They feed it definiteness, faith, and pictures of abundance. They know the servant obeys whatever is planted, so they plant only what they desire. This is why they seem favored. Fortune is but the harvest of their inner cultivation. Consider Thomas Edison. He often rested in his chair with steel ball in hand, dozing briefly. At the moment of slipping into sleep, the ball would fall, waking him. In those moments, flashes of inspiration arose from his subconscious, unguarded by conscious interference. Many of his inventions were born this way. He trusted the servant of mind. Abraham Lincoln relied on dreams to guide decisions in troubled times. He reported visions warning of danger and impressions that strengthened his faith in union. These were not accidents. His subconscious, saturated with purpose, connected him with infinite intelligence during sleep. Leaders who understand this law are never without guidance, for the servant is always awake. Andrew Carnegie admitted he often awoke with answers to problems he could not solve by day. His subconscious had worked through the night upon the definite purpose he had impressed before sleep. This is no mystery. The subconscious, like faithful worker, labors silently when commanded. Those who neglect it leave their richest ally idle. But beware, the subconscious accepts poison as readily as nourishment. The man who closes eyes in anger, worry, or fear delivers his servant to the devil. All night long, it multiplies these impressions. In the morning, he rises weaker, opportunities slip away, misfortunes cluster. He curses fate, never knowing he himself gave the orders. Autosuggestion is the instrument by which the subconscious is guided. Words spoken aloud, repeated with faith, charged with emotion, these penetrate beyond conscious guard. The subconscious accepts them as truth regardless of fact. Repeat fear and it obeys. Repeat faith and it obeys. The law is neutral. It does not question, it executes. Affirm, my subconscious creates only what I command. I feed it riches and it multiplies them. Speak this nightly. Write it where your eyes meet it. Repeat until emotion rises. Each time fear tempts you, declare it louder. The subconscious will engrave it as law. Life will begin to mirror the affirmation. This is mastery through servant of mind. Edison's flashes, Lincoln's dreams, Carnegie's solutions all prove the subconscious works without rest. Yet most men waste this servant. They deliver no definite commands, leaving it to drift. The devil then fills it with fear, excuses, and weakness. 98 men out of 100 live enslaved by their own subconscious because they refuse to command it with definiteness. The master understands that every impression, every word, every thought at night is command. He closes day deliberately, speaking only words of wealth, reading only affirmations of faith, picturing only definiteness of aim. He does not leave gate unguarded. He gives exact orders to subconscious, then rests in peace, knowing his servant labors faithfully until dawn. Exercise. Before sleep, write your chief aim. Read it aloud with emotion. Picture it vividly. Speak affirmations of faith. Make this the final impression. Do not allow idle gossip, complaint, or worry to be your last words. Guard this moment with seriousness, for the subconscious will obey whatever enters. Direct it, and it will deliver. The drifter laughs at this law, calling it superstition. He continues to fill mind with fear before bed. He mocks the master who repeats affirmations. Yet his poverty grows, his chains tighten, his despair deepens. He cannot see the connection, but life proves the law. The subconscious is always servant. If you will not command, the devil will. The wealthy trust the law. They obey its demands. They fill subconscious with purpose until it becomes second nature. They awaken with ideas, courage, and strength unknown to the drifting crowd. Their days move with rhythm, their opportunities multiply, their fortune appears inevitable. The crowd calls them lucky. In truth, they are deliberate. Affirm again, my subconscious creates only what I command. I feed it riches, and it multiplies them. This is not empty phrase. It is law. Repeat until belief becomes certainty. Live as though true, and soon it will be fact. Your servant waits for command. Give it definiteness, and it will create fortune. Neglect it, and it will enslave you. Therefore I charge you, never again go to sleep without directing your subconscious. Treat it as loyal worker, awaiting your orders. Give it fear, and it builds chains. Give it faith, and it builds riches. The night is never idle. The servant is never still. Command it wisely, and life will yield everything you demand. Desire is the spark that lights every fortune. Without desire, no man persists, no man decides, no man believes. It is the starting point of all achievement. Yet desire must not live only in daylight. If it fades at night, it is weak. True burning desire continues into slumber, sinking into subconscious until it becomes obsession. Most men mistake wishes for desire. They say, I want success, but they do not mean it. At day's end, their so-called desire is forgotten, replaced by worry, complaint, or idle chatter. Wishes vanish with sleep. Burning desire survives the night. It burns through rest, impressing itself upon subconscious. In morning, it rises stronger, driving thought and action. Edwin C. Barnes proves this truth. He desired not wages, but partnership with Edison. His desire was definite, burning, and unshakable. He carried it into every waking thought and every nightly dream. Others in Edison's shops wished vaguely for success, but their wishes died with the setting sun. Barnes's desire lived through the night until it became fact. Weak desire produces restless sleep. The man who drifts lies awake with scattered thoughts, half-formed aims, vague hopes, scattered wishes. His subconscious receives confusion, and confusion returns. Strong desire produces inspired awakening. The man of burning aim sleeps peacefully, for his subconscious labors with clear command. He rises with direction, energy, and courage. Desire must be written and read nightly. Place your chief aim upon paper beside the bed. Each evening, read it aloud with emotion. Picture it as real. Let these be the final words before eyes close. Thus the subconscious receives burning impression. Sleep becomes servant of desire, not thief of it. Morning becomes continuation, not reset. Barnes's burning desire led him to Edison's office with nothing but determination. His poverty was irrelevant, his appearance unremarkable. His desire was his wealth. Edison saw in him the fire others lacked. That fire was kept alive by night as well as day. It was not momentary wish, but constant flame, never extinguished even in slumber. Thomas Edison's inventions were sustained by burning desire. Thousands of failures might have ended his experiments, but his desire was greater than defeat. Each night he slept with his vision of light still alive. His subconscious worked, guiding him to new methods. Without desire, he would have quit. With it, he persisted until the world was illuminated. Andrew Carnegie's rise from bobbin boy was fueled by desire. He desired more than wages. He desired command of industry. Each night he slept with vision of advancement, fortune, and mastery. While others surrendered to fatigue, he carried desire into subconscious. His nights magnified it until his entire being was saturated with aim. His empire began as dream impressed upon sleep. Exercise. Write your desire clearly. Sum, date, service. Place it where you see it before bed. Each night, read it aloud. Feel it as though already fact. Picture the life it brings. Let emotion stir. Sleep with this fire burning. In time, your subconscious will accept it and your life will align. Desire must not fade with eyes closed. Affirm, what I desire by day, I impress by night. My desire grows as I sleep. Speak this nightly. Speak it until your subconscious cannot escape it. Speak it until it engraves itself upon your nature. Each repetition fuels the flame. Soon desire becomes obsession, and obsession directs every thought, every act, every circumstance. The drifter never cultivates desire. He lives on weak wishes, scattered and half-hearted. He says, I hope it comes, but he does not burn for it. His subconscious receives no fire, only smoke. In morning, he rises with nothing. His days drift, his nights waste, his life perishes. The devil owns him because he never desired strongly enough to resist. The master cultivates burning desire. He guards it by day and nourishes it by night. He knows desire must be constant flame, never flickering, never dimmed. His subconscious receives it as law. His acts reflect it as command. His fortune appears as harvest. The world may mock, but in time they serve the man of burning desire. Lincoln's desire for union never left him. Through defeat, ridicule, and despair, it burned. He slept with it, awoke with it, lived with it. That desire impressed itself upon his subconscious, sustaining faith when all seemed lost. Desire greater than fear created endurance greater than defeat. His legacy proves the power of flame unquenched by night. Affirm again, what I desire by day, I impress by night. My desire grows as I sleep. This is not poetry, but law. Speak it with conviction. Live it with constancy. In time, desire will saturate subconscious so fully that every act, word, and thought will align with it. Fortune will bow to such burning fire. Therefore I charge you, cease drifting in weak wishes. Write your desire. Speak it nightly. Picture it vividly. Sleep with it alive. Refuse to let worry extinguish it. Refuse to let doubt weaken it. Carry it into slumber, and your subconscious will labor until it becomes fact. Burning desire is not choice. It is requirement for mastery. Faith is the medium by which desire is transformed into its physical equivalent. Without faith, desire is a dream fading into nothing. With faith, desire becomes command to the subconscious, and the subconscious, in turn, moves infinite intelligence to open doors unseen by ordinary eyes. Faith must not live only in waking hours. It must accompany you into sleep. For when the body rests, fear creeps strongest. Doubts whisper loudest when conscious guard is lowered. Poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, these 6 ghosts of fear circle like vultures when a man closes his eyes. If faith is not impressed at night, fear becomes master. Faith alone drives out fear, for the two cannot dwell together. The wealthy understand this. They never let their final thoughts be of debt, disease, or disaster. They close their days with affirmations of faith, with vivid pictures of desire already achieved. They impress upon subconscious the certainty of victory. Thus, through the night, faith multiplies. In the morning, courage is renewed, and the path seems clearer. Henry Ford embodied faith. He declared cars would be built for every man when experts mocked him as dreamer. His faith was greater than their facts. He held belief so strongly that even in sleep, his subconscious labored to solve problems critics called impossible. Fact yielded to faith. The assembly line was born, and fortune crowned him. John D. Rockefeller's empire was built on faith in efficiency and order. When oil industry was chaos, with reckless speculation and waste, he believed in system and discipline. Others doubted, but his faith did not waver. Even in times of panic, he rested calmly. His subconscious, saturated with belief in order, guided him to control pipelines, refineries, distribution. Abraham Lincoln carried faith through darkest nights. War ravaged, critics mocked, despair pressed heavy. Yet his faith in the Union never yielded. He confessed dreams and impressions that came by night, strengthening him when all else failed. Faith planted at night drove out fear that would have destroyed him. Without faith, he would have collapsed. With it, he endured. Faith is not accident. It is cultivated. It grows through repetition of affirmations, visualization of aims, and persistence of desire. Each night before sleep, you must rehearse faith until emotion stirs. Speak aloud, I believe in my power. I believe in my aim. I believe until it becomes fact. Repeat until subconscious accepts it as law. Exercise. Write down every fear that troubles you. Name them boldly. Poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, death. Speak them aloud. Then destroy the paper. Burn it, shred it, cast it away. Replace immediately with affirmation of faith. Each night, perform this ritual until subconscious accepts faith and rejects fear. Fear is the devil's whip. It keeps men obedient, small, and poor. It paralyzes decision, weakens persistence, poisons imagination, and silences subconscious connection to infinite intelligence. Faith is the antidote. It breaks chains, empowers decision, strengthens persistence, magnifies imagination, and opens subconscious to infinite intelligence. The two cannot coexist. You must choose. The drifter does not choose. He goes to bed rehearsing fears. His subconscious multiplies them, and he wakes weaker each day. Soon fear is habit, then identity, then destiny. 98 men out of 100 perish this way. They are slaves not to masters outside, but to fear inside. They never learn to impress faith before sleep. The master chooses. He closes every night deliberately, replacing fear with faith. His subconscious receives certainty. Through the night, courage multiplies. Ideas arrive, hunches form, infinite intelligence whispers. In the morning he wakes with direction, while the drifter wakes with doubt. The difference is not talent, but faith impressed at night. Thomas Edison's thousands of failures could have bred fear. Yet his faith in finding light never wavered. He slept each night with his vision still burning. His subconscious worked faithfully upon it, directing new experiments. His faith expelled fear. Without it, failure would have conquered him. With it, he conquered failure and gave light to the world. Affirm again, I sleep in faith, I rise in power, fear flees from my nights. Speak it until belief rises, speak it until subconscious accepts it. In time, fear will vanish from your nights, and faith will saturate every dream. Your mornings will reveal it. Courage will replace hesitation. Fortune will respond, for faith commands while fear only submits. Infinite intelligence answers faith. The subconscious, when charged with belief, becomes open channel. Hunches, dreams, flashes of guidance flow through it. The timid call it chance. The faithful know it as law. Many fortunes began with one idea whispered by night. Many failures began with one fear rehearsed at midnight. The night is battlefield, faith is weapon. Therefore I charge you, never again go to bed with fear as companion. Expel it with affirmations, with visions of success, with burning desire repeated aloud. Replace it with faith in your aim, your purpose, your power. Do this nightly until subconscious accepts faith as natural state. Do this, and fear will never master you again. Affirm once more, I sleep in faith. I rise in power. Fear flees from my nights. Let this be final thought each day. Your subconscious will obey. Infinite intelligence will respond. Your life will change. Faith is not wish, it is law. Faith is not weak hope, it is command. Plant it nightly, and fear will wither forever. Indecision is the mark of a slave. Decision is the mark of a master. The man who cannot decide must always obey another's command. He drifts, waiting for permission, waiting for clearer signs, waiting for tomorrow. Yet tomorrow never comes. Night after night, he goes to sleep undecided, and his subconscious multiplies confusion. His life becomes reflection of hesitation. Decision is the crossing point where thought becomes action. Desire and faith prepare the soil, but decision plants the seed. Without it, desire rots. With it, desire grows. The wealthy understand this law. They decide quickly, firmly, and finally. They impress decision upon their subconscious before sleep, so that every dream, every hunch, every act bends toward fulfillment. Charles Schwab provides perfect example. At a dinner with Andrew Carnegie, he spoke boldly of plans to consolidate steel industry. His decision was clear, his words definite, his faith visible. Carnegie recognized leadership and entrusted him. That speech birthed United States Steel, a billion-dollar enterprise. One decisive moment impressed upon mind changed destiny overnight. Edwin C. Barnes also proved the power of decision. He decided he would become Edison's partner, not employee. His poverty meant nothing. His appearance meant nothing. His decision meant everything. He impressed it upon his subconscious night after night. His mind accepted it as fact, and in time, opportunity appeared. He became partner, not laborer, because he decided. Indecision confuses the subconscious. When a man lies down uncertain, his servant receives mixed orders. It cannot build clearly from contradiction. The result is confusion by day, wasted effort, lost opportunity. Decision directs the subconscious with clarity. It knows the aim, and it labors toward it without hesitation. Night becomes ally, not thief, when man decides. Bedtime is the gate through which thoughts pass into subconscious for the night's labor. If gate is left open, fear and doubt enter freely. If gate is closed with decision, only definite commands pass. Therefore, never go to sleep undecided. Always end the day with one firm choice. One aim for tomorrow, One command for subconscious to obey. Exercise. Each night, write one definite decision. It may be small or great, an act to perform, a word to speak, a sum to demand, a plan to pursue. Read it aloud before sleep. Impress it with emotion. Let this be your final thought. In morning, subconscious will guide you toward it, opening paths you could not see before. Affirm, I decide before sleep. My decision becomes law. My destiny obeys. Speak this with firmness. Feel it as truth. Repeat until subconscious accepts it. Soon hesitation will vanish. You will find yourself acting with courage, speaking with authority, moving with certainty. Decision, repeated nightly, engraves itself into character until indecision is impossible. Indecision is favorite tool of devil. He whispers delay, hesitation, wait for more signs. Men obey, drifting into slavery. They excuse themselves, saying, I am cautious. But caution without decision is cowardice. 98 men out of 100 perish with songs unsung because they never decided. The devil owns their minds because they surrendered decision to him. The master is never free of doubt, but he decides in spite of it. He understands that perfect certainty never comes. He closes the night with definite choice and commands subconscious to obey. Even if imperfect, decision sets in motion faith, persistence, and imagination. Delay sets nothing. Decision is action. Action multiplies. Fortune follows. Abraham Lincoln faced endless counsel urging delay, yet he decided firmly to preserve union. That decision held even in darkest nights. His subconscious was saturated with definiteness of aim. Infinite intelligence guided him through hunches and dreams. Without decision, he would have faltered. With decision, he became immortal. Decision makes giants from common men. Affirm again, I decide before sleep. My decision becomes law. My destiny obeys. Speak this until your voice carries weight. Speak until subconscious trembles with obedience. Each decision, no matter how small, builds habit of definiteness. In time, decision becomes nature. Hesitation vanishes. Life bends to will of decisive man. Destiny itself obeys. The drifter postpones decision. He says, I will choose tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week, then next year, then never. He lies down undecided, rises undecided, lives undecided, dies undecided. His subconscious reflects this weakness, bringing confusion, poverty, slavery. He becomes servant of stronger wills, always obeying others because he never obeyed himself. The master closes each day with choice. He lies down with mind definite, subconscious commanded, infinite intelligence engaged. He rises with energy, clarity, direction. His subconscious, charged with decision, attracts allies, ideas, and opportunities. Others call him lucky, but his fortune is harvest of decisiveness. He commands destiny because he commands himself. Thomas Edison decided he would create light. He did not say, I will try. He did not say, perhaps someday. He said, in essence, it will be done. Thousands of failures did not move him. His decision was final. Night after night, he slept with aim definite. His subconscious worked tirelessly, guiding experiment after experiment until success burned bright. Therefore, I charge you, never waste another night undecided. Always end day with firm choice. Command subconscious with definiteness. Close the gate against hesitation. Impress upon your servant only what you intend. Decision is the closing of night's gate. Without it, you are prey. With it, you are master. Decide nightly, and destiny will obey. Persistence is the hammer that breaks resistance. Without it, desire fades. Faith weakens, decision wavers. With it, even the smallest aim grows into mighty fortune. Most men begin well, but surrender quickly. They drift after first defeat, excusing themselves with clever words. But the master persists. He pounds upon door of life until it opens. Persistence is not only for day, it must continue into night. Each evening, your affirmations, your visions, your decisions must be repeated until subconscious accepts them. One night will not suffice. 1 week will not suffice. Night after night, rhythm must be maintained. In time, subconscious engraves persistence so deeply that quitting feels impossible. R.U. Darby proved this law when he stopped 3 feet from gold. He lacked persistence. He allowed temporary defeat to end his labor. Another man, less skilled but more persistent, purchased equipment and continued digging. He struck the rich vein and harvested millions. The difference was not strength but persistence. One surrendered, the other endured. Edison's thousands of failures also proved persistence. He tried filament after filament, experiment after experiment. Each night he slept with vision alive, and his subconscious worked on. Where others surrendered, he persisted. In time, the light burned. The world was transformed because one man refused to quit. Persistence turned failure into glory. Henry Ford faced ridicule, lawsuits, and financial disasters, yet he persisted in his aim of cars for every man. Fires destroyed factories, critics mocked him, banks opposed him. Still he persisted. Night after night, his subconscious was charged with faith and decision. That persistence, engraved into habit, carried him to triumph when others collapsed. Persistence is habit formed by repetition. Each night before sleep, repeat your affirmations. Read your definite aim. Visualize your fortune. Speak faith aloud. This nightly ritual builds hypnotic rhythm. Subconscious accepts persistence as nature. Soon you find yourself unable to quit, no matter how heavy defeat. Persistence has become your identity. Affirm, I persist even in sleep. My subconscious continues until fortune bows. Speak it with conviction. Speak until subconscious accepts it. In time, defeat will no longer frighten you. Each setback will appear only a step toward victory. Persistence will drive you forward when others stop. This is power of nightly rhythm. The drifter lacks persistence. He changes aim with every breeze. He plants seed tonight, uproots it tomorrow, sows another next week. His subconscious receives confusion, not rhythm. No harvest can come from such inconsistency. He wonders why fortune never favors him. The answer is plain. He never persisted long enough to deserve reward. The master persists. He chooses aim and repeats it nightly. He affirms faith through delay. He visualizes fortune through defeat. He commands subconscious again and again until it obeys without resistance. He persists not for days, but for years if needed. Fortune cannot resist such endurance. It must bow before the hammer of persistence. Consider Abraham Lincoln. He failed in business, lost elections, suffered defeats, yet he persisted. Night after night, his subconscious was charged with faith in union and purpose in service. Defeat could not silence him. Delay could not weary him. Persistence carried him into White House, through war, into immortality. Without persistence, he would be forgotten. Exercise. Begin a 30-day persistence record. Each night, repeat affirmations, visualize aim, and write progress. Do not skip a single evening. At end of 30 days, persistence will have begun engraving itself into subconscious. Continue until habit is formed so strongly that quitting feels unnatural. This is how masters are built. Persistence also silences ridicule. The crowd mocks the dreamer at first. They laugh at failures, whisper at delays. But when he persists, when he endures ridicule without surrender, they grow silent. In time, they call him genius. Persistence transforms laughter into applause, mockery into respect. The only requirement is that he does not quit. Affirm again, I will persist until I succeed. I persist even in sleep. My subconscious continues until fortune bows. These words, repeated nightly, will engrave themselves into subconscious. In time, persistence will become part of nature. You will find yourself pressing forward long after others have quit. Victory will come because you refused to stop. The devil whispers, quit. It is hopeless. You have failed. He tempts men with excuses, distractions, and fatigue. 98 men out of 100 obey him. They quit just before breakthrough. They surrender when fortune is nearest. But the two who persist, who refuse his whisper, who endure through night as well as day, these are masters. Therefore, I charge you, never go to bed without renewing persistence. Repeat affirmations, visualize aim, impress faith. Let your subconscious labor while you rest. Refuse to let defeat silence you. Refuse to let delay weaken you. Persist until subconscious engraves endurance into your nature. Persist until life itself surrenders. Fortune bows to persistence. Imagination is the workshop of the mind. It is the place where desire is shaped into plans, where faith finds form, where decision becomes vision. Every fortune is first born in imagination before it appears in steel, stone, or gold. And imagination works most freely at night, when conscious guard is lowered, and subconscious paints pictures unrestrained. Most men misuse imagination. They lie in bed picturing debt, failure, illness, ridicule. They rehearse arguments, imagine disasters, replay insults. Their subconscious accepts these pictures as commands and multiplies them into reality. They call it bad luck. In truth, it is bad imagination. Their nights are spent building prisons of fear instead of palaces of fortune. The wealthy direct imagination toward riches. They close their eyes and see fortune already in hand. They picture homes, enterprises, allies, and freedom. They feel emotions of possession. Subconscious, receiving these vivid pictures, works to create them. Infinite intelligence responds, guiding opportunities, ideas, and men to fulfill the vision. Night becomes workshop of wealth. Thomas Edison practiced this law. He would rest, drifting into half sleep, letting imagination conjure pictures of inventions. Many of his discoveries came from this state, where subconscious painted visions beyond conscious reason. He trusted these flashes, pursued them with persistence, and turned them into reality. Imagination was his workshop, sleep his ally. John D. Rockefeller imagined pipelines stretching across states when others laughed. He pictured efficiency and order when industry was chaos. His imagination shaped oil empire before tools were lifted. Night after night, he rehearsed vision until subconscious accepted it as fact. In time, reality bent to picture he had painted within. Fortune crowned him. Andrew Carnegie envisioned steel integrated from mine to mill to rail. He saw empire whole before it was built. His imagination directed his plans, his subconscious labored upon them. Infinite intelligence opened doors. Without vision, he would have remained poor laborer. With imagination, he became master of steel. Vision guided persistence. Persistence built fortune. Imagination is of two forms. Synthetic imagination rearranges existing ideas into new combinations. Creative imagination receives flashes from infinite intelligence. Both work most freely at night. Synthetic draws from memory, combining thoughts. Creative receives inspiration when conscious guard is asleep. Many fortunes have begun with dreams so vivid it could not be ignored. Exercise. Before sleep, deliberately picture your definite aim as complete. See it in detail. Sum of money, enterprise, allies, freedom. Feel emotions as though fact. Repeat nightly. Subconscious will engrave picture. Infinite intelligence will respond with opportunities and ideas. Soon life will reflect vision rehearsed. Night will have built wealth in silence. Affirm, I dream in riches. My imagination builds and life obeys. Speak it before sleep. Let it sink into subconscious. Each night the vision will grow clearer. Each morning ideas will rise stronger. Fortune begins not with tools, but with pictures. Imagination is the workshop where future is shaped. Use it wisely. The drifter lets imagination wander without aim. He pictures fears, envies others, rehearses failures. His subconscious receives these pictures and obeys. His life reflects his nightly visions. He blames fate, never knowing he built his own chains. 98 men out of 100 waste imagination this way. They create ruin instead of riches. The master directs imagination. He chooses pictures deliberately, rejecting fear, painting faith. He rehearses vision nightly until subconscious accepts it. Soon he finds opportunities moving toward him, allies appearing, ideas rising. The crowd calls it magic. In truth, it is law. Imagination is workshop. Subconscious is builder. Infinite intelligence is supplier. Henry Ford imagined cars in every household when others called it madness. His vision was so strong that subconscious accepted it, guiding him through lawsuits, ridicule, and obstacles. He persisted because vision was engraved. Without imagination, he would have surrendered. With it, he pressed forward until world drove his dream. Affirm again, I dream in riches. My imagination builds and life obeys, repeat until vivid pictures rise within. Let them replace fear and worry. Sleep with vision alive. Awake with determination renewed. Repeat nightly until imagination becomes servant of desire. Fortune cannot resist vivid pictures impressed upon subconscious with persistence and faith. The devil uses imagination to enslave. He whispers of failure, of ridicule, of poverty. Men picture these vividly and build prisons. Yet same law, directed with faith, builds palaces. The tool is neutral. The master directs it toward riches. The slave allows it to wander into ruin. Choose deliberately. Imagination builds whatever you picture. Therefore, I charge you, never waste imagination on fear. Each night, paint vivid pictures of your definite aim. Feel emotions of victory. Repeat until subconscious accepts it. Imagination will build silently through night. Infinite intelligence will respond. Fortune will appear. Dreams are not idle. They are workshop of destiny. Use them to build riches. The mastermind is one of the most powerful forces known to man. A single mind, no matter how brilliant, is limited. But when two or more minds are joined together in harmony, a new mind is created, a mind greater than the sum of its parts. This principle has been the source of every great fortune, every great empire, every great movement. By day, the mastermind is formed through counsel, cooperation, and shared purpose. By night, its influence continues. The voices you hear, the conversations you remember, the emotions you absorb, they do not vanish when you lie down. They are carried into the subconscious, where they echo, combine, and magnify as you sleep. Thus, your alliances follow you into dreams. Andrew Carnegie confessed that he owed his fortune not to himself alone, but to his mastermind group. He surrounded himself with men of knowledge greater than his own. Together they built plans he alone could never have devised. But understand this: when Carnegie left their council at night, their ideas continued to echo in his subconscious. His sleep was saturated with harmony. Consider the contrast. The laborer who spends his evenings among complainers, doubters, and cynics. He hears their complaints, absorbs their fears, and carries them into sleep. All night long, his subconscious multiplies poison. He wakes discouraged, confused, uncertain. His mastermind is not of faith, but of despair, and it follows him even in dreams. The wealthy deliberately choose their company. They refuse to spend hours with drifters, no matter how charming. They unite only with men of definite purpose, of faith, of persistence. They know that every conversation is seed planted in subconscious. At night, those seeds grow. To permit weeds is to invite ruin. To cultivate harmony is to invite fortune. Thomas Edison relied on his laboratory of associates. Many of his inventions were not the product of his hand alone, but the combined labor of faithful men who shared his vision. By day, they discussed, tested, failed, and tried again. By night, Edison's subconscious continued the work, fed not only by his own thoughts, but by the collective purpose of his mastermind. Henry Ford united himself with mechanical geniuses, engineers, and bold financiers. He was not alone in vision of cars for every man. His mastermind reinforced his faith, multiplied his ideas, and provided strength when opposition rose. At night, the harmony of their alliance continued to influence his subconscious. keeping his vision alive through storms of criticism. Abraham Lincoln gathered a cabinet of men who opposed him politically, yet whose combined wisdom was vast. This mastermind helped guide the nation through peril. Lincoln carried their counsel into sleep, where his subconscious processed it, combining it with his faith and desire. Many of his decisions were shaped in dreams, influenced by voices of his mastermind. The devil understands the mastermind principle, which is why he surrounds drifters with drifters. He knows that a man may resist his own fear, but seldom resists the multiplied fear of companions. Surrounded by doubters, his subconscious is filled with despair each night. The devil gains control not by direct force, but by influence of company. Therefore, choose carefully whose voices you allow to enter your evenings. If you wish fortune, unite with men of faith, definiteness, and courage. Let their words fill your thoughts before sleep. Their harmony will join yours in subconscious, forming invisible mastermind that labors even through night. In morning, you will rise stronger than you lay down. Exercise. Each evening, reflect on conversations of the day. Ask, did these voices strengthen me or weaken me? Did they fill me with faith or with fear? If harmful, resolve to limit their influence. Replace them with words of faith, books, affirmations, or speech from men of purpose. Guard the gate of night with harmony, not discord. Affirm, I unite with men of faith. Their voices strengthen me even in sleep. My mastermind continues by night, and fortune multiplies through harmony. Speak this before rest. Picture your allies standing with you, sharing your purpose, combining strength. Let subconscious carry this vision. Awake with assurance that you are never alone in pursuit of riches. The drifter resents others. He envies, criticizes, and isolates. He refuses counsel, claiming independence, but in truth he is weak. His subconscious is filled with discord, and his nights are empty. The master seeks cooperation, harmony, and shared purpose. His subconscious is filled with multiplied power, and his nights build fortune while he rests. Rockefeller's genius was not solitary. He drew to himself men who shared his belief in order and efficiency. Together, they planned pipelines, refineries, and distribution that no one man could envision fully. Their harmony formed a mastermind. Rockefeller carried it into sleep, and his subconscious multiplied it into empire. Without alliance, he would have remained ordinary. Charles Schwab rose to power because of boldness, but his continued success came from alliances. Surrounded by men of knowledge and courage, his mastermind guided the steel empire. Each night, their counsel echoed in his subconscious, keeping his faith alive, his vision sharp, his persistence strong. He was never truly alone. His mastermind was always with him. Affirm again, I attract allies of faith and purpose. Together we multiply strength. Even in silence, our harmony endures. Even in sleep, our mastermind continues to speak until subconscious accepts it. Believe until you feel companionship even when alone. In time, you will find men drawn to you, men of definiteness, persistence, and faith, answering your inner call. Infinite intelligence works most freely through harmonious cooperation. Discord closes the channel. Harmony opens it. When minds are united in faith, infinite intelligence flows through subconscious by night, bringing flashes of inspiration, dreams of guidance, and hunches of opportunity. This is why fortunes appear as though by magic to those united in mastermind. Therefore I charge you, never again end day among complainers. Choose carefully the last voices you hear before sleep. Let them be voices of faith, definiteness, and courage. Carry them into subconscious. Let their harmony continue through night. Thus your mastermind will never rest, and fortune will grow even as you sleep. A ritual is nothing more than a habit made deliberate. Most men already follow a nightly ritual, but it is destructive. They complain, they worry, they scroll through useless thoughts, they argue with loved ones, They feed their minds with poison. Then they collapse into sleep, believing night to be escape. But subconscious never sleeps. It multiplies whatever was last planted. The difference between slavery and mastery often lies in what a man does in the final hour before sleep. One man wastes it with fear and idle chatter, and his nights build chains. Another spends it with definiteness, faith, and vision, and his nights build fortune. The ritual determines the harvest. The law does not bend. It obeys command. The nightly ritual that turns sleep into fortune is simple but powerful. It contains steps that saturate subconscious with purpose. Each act is a seed planted in fertile soil. Each repetition deepens impression. Each night compounds the rhythm until subconscious accepts aim as law. Fortune then begins to move as though drawn by magnet. Step 1. Write your definite chief aim. Place it where your eyes see it before bed. State clearly the sum, the date, the service to be rendered. Do not let it be vague. Read it aloud nightly with conviction. This act fixes definiteness in subconscious. Without written aim, thoughts scatter. With it, thoughts unite in rhythm. Step 2. Speak affirmations of faith aloud. Say, I believe in my power. I believe in my aim. I believe until life yields. Speak until emotion stirs. The subconscious obeys only commands charged with feeling. Words spoken without emotion are empty. Words spoken with faith engrave themselves as law. End the day with belief, not doubt. Step 3. Picture vividly the aim as already achieved. Close eyes and imagine fortune in hand, freedom enjoyed, family secure, business thriving. See details, feel emotions, smell, taste, and hear success. Subconscious cannot distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. Rehearse it nightly until it becomes identity. Morning will reveal strength unknown before. Step 4. Make one definite decision for tomorrow. Do not leave subconscious wandering. Give it specific order. Say, tomorrow I will write 1 letter, call 1 man, study 1 hour, build 1 plan. This directs subconscious to prepare through the night. You will awaken ready to act. Without decision, subconscious drifts. With it, subconscious obeys. Step 5. Expel fear. Write every worry that haunts you. Name it boldly. Then destroy the paper. Burn it, tear it, or cast it away. Replace immediately with affirmation of courage. Say, I sleep in faith. I rise in power. Fear flees from my nights. Thus you cleanse subconscious of poison before slumber. Step 6. Guard the final moments. Refuse gossip, arguments, idle speech. Refuse news filled with fear. Refuse voices of complainers. In last half hour, permit only thoughts, words, and pictures of faith. Subconscious will take final impression as command. Guard this gate with discipline. Most men throw it open to devil. Masters close it with definiteness. Examples prove the ritual. Thomas Edison rehearsed his inventions in imagination before sleep. Henry Ford repeated vision of cars for every man. Andrew Carnegie reviewed plans of empire nightly. Their subconscious labored through the night, building ideas, attracting allies, guiding persistence. They awoke with answers, while others awoke with doubt. Their ritual built fortune. Contrast the laborer who ends day with complaint. He curses his wages, fears his debts, quarrels with his family. He falls asleep with bitterness. His subconscious multiplies it. He rises weary, confused, resentful. Each day repeats until life collapses. He does not see connection. He blames fate. In truth, his nightly ritual built his slavery. Affirm each night builds my fortune. I sleep in faith. I rise in power. My subconscious obeys. My destiny is secured. Speak it as command, not wish. Let it echo as last thought before rest. Subconscious will engrave it. Infinite intelligence will respond. You will awaken with certainty, direction, and strength. This is law. The devil owns 98 out of 100 men because they waste nights. He whispers excuses, delays, fears. They obey, letting subconscious drift into ruin. But the 2% who practice ritual guard their minds. They impress desire, faith, decision, persistence, imagination, mastermind, and identity upon subconscious. Fortune bows before them because their nights are sacred. Exercise. For 30 nights, follow ritual without failure. Write aim, speak affirmations, picture vividly, decide tomorrow's act, expel fear, guard gate, record results. At end of 30 nights, subconscious will be saturated with definiteness. You will rise with new identity. Fortune will begin moving toward you. Continue until ritual becomes nature. Abraham Lincoln's faith in union was strengthened by nightly reflection on aim. He carried vision into dreams where subconscious worked upon it. Many decisions came through impressions in sleep. He did not surrender nights to despair. He filled them with purpose. His ritual preserved him when others fell. Without it, war would have broken him. Charles Schwab rehearsed bold plans nightly. His subconscious labored upon them, preparing him for moments of opportunity. When time came to speak, words flowed with conviction. Carnegie was persuaded, empire was born. This was not accident, but fruit of ritual. He had prepared mind by night for triumph by day. Fortune obeys those who prepare. Affirm again, each night builds my fortune. I sleep in faith, I rise in power. My subconscious obeys, my destiny is secured. Repeat until voice carries weight, until subconscious trembles with obedience. Repeat until fortune appears, for it must obey. Night after night, ritual builds identity. Soon you are master, not slave. Therefore, I charge you, never waste another night. Make ritual sacred. Guard it with discipline. Impress subconscious with desire, faith, decision, persistence, imagination, and harmony. Expel fear, embrace faith. Do this nightly without fail. Fortune will be inevitable, for night is not escape. It is workshop. Ritual is the tool. Use it, and wealth will come. The greatest enemy of man is not outside of him, but within. Fear is the inner tyrant that robs men of riches, silences decisions, paralyzes persistence, and poisons imagination. You may command all the laws of wealth by day, but if fear rules you by night, your subconscious multiplies slavery. Therefore, every man must learn to expel fear before he sleeps. There are 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These fears stalk men during the day, but they attack most viciously at night. When the body is weary and conscious guard is lowered, fear whispers with greater power. Unless faith is deliberately planted before sleep, fear becomes master of the night. Fear of poverty is the whip the devil uses most. It causes men to accept wages instead of fortunes, to bow before masters instead of becoming masters. At night it whispers of unpaid bills, empty tables, uncertain tomorrows. Subconscious accepts these whispers as commands and builds chains of hesitation and defeat. Fortune flees from the fearful sleeper. Fear of criticism poisons imagination. Men lie awake rehearsing insults, fearing laughter, picturing ridicule. They weaken their courage and silence their voices. Subconscious receives these pictures and multiplies timidity. The next day, opportunities slip by because the man dares not act. His failure is born not in the daylight, but in the midnight rehearsals of fear. Fear of ill health creeps strongest at night. Men imagine symptoms, exaggerate weakness, rehearse disease. They awaken tired, believing bodies broken. In truth, subconscious has obeyed pictures of illness and created corresponding feelings. Faith in health must be impressed before sleep, or the body will obey fear and create weakness. Fear of loss of love haunts men with jealousy and suspicion. They imagine betrayal, picture loneliness, rehearse quarrels. Subconscious multiplies these pictures, poisoning relationships, breeding conflict. Many loves have perished not from reality, but from nightly rehearsals of imagined loss. Fear creates what it dreads when impressed upon subconscious. Fear of old age whispers of decline, of weakness, of irrelevance. Men picture themselves wasted, forgotten, useless. Subconscious accepts and hastens decline. Faith in usefulness and wisdom must be planted instead. Age can be treasure when faith rules, or burden when fear reigns. Nightly impressions decide which it shall be. Fear of death hovers silently. Men imagine end, darkness, nothingness. They fill subconscious with dread. Each morning they rise weakened, hesitant, unable to seize life boldly. Yet death is but natural law, no more to be feared than sleep itself. Faith in continuity, faith in purpose, faith in destiny must replace fear before rest. Abraham Lincoln was tormented by nights of fear, yet he chose faith in union as stronger thought. He confessed dreams that warned and guided him. Fear pressed heavily, but faith planted before sleep carried him. Without deliberate replacement of fear with faith, even he might have collapsed. Night is battlefield. Faith must win before slumber. Exercise. Each night write every fear that troubles you. Name it boldly. Do not hide it. See it on paper, then destroy the paper. Burn it, tear it, or cast it away. As you destroy it, speak aloud. I banish fear. I sleep fearless. I awaken free. Replace immediately with affirmation of faith and purpose. Affirm, I banish fear. I sleep fearless. I awaken free. Repeat it aloud until you feel weight lift. Say it again as final words before sleep. Subconscious will engrave courage. Fear will vanish. In morning, strength will replace weakness. Repeat nightly until habit of faith replaces habit of fear. Habit is law. Faith must be practiced. Henry Ford faced ridicule, lawsuits, financial ruin. Fear of poverty, criticism, and failure could have destroyed him. Yet he expelled them nightly with vision of cars for every man. Faith in aim was stronger than fear of ruin. His subconscious multiplied courage. Each morning he rose with renewed persistence. Fortune answered because he silenced fear. John D. Rockefeller faced chaos, enemies, and public hatred. Fear of criticism could have paralyzed him. Yet he rehearsed order, efficiency, and faith in purpose. His subconscious obeyed faith, not fear. Empire was built while critics mocked. His nights were not wasted with complaint, but filled with visions of mastery. Fear fled, and fortune bowed. Thomas Edison faced thousands of failures. Fear of ridicule and defeat could have ended his quest. Yet he expelled fear by rehearsing vision of light. His subconscious obeyed pictures of victory, not whispers of failure. In time, persistence broke resistance, and invention crowned him. Nightly faith, not fear, was secret of triumph. The drifter allows fear to whisper unchecked. He rehearses poverty, ridicule, illness, loss, age, death. Subconscious accepts commands and multiplies slavery. He wakes defeated, grows weaker each day, dies without fortune. 98 out of 100 perish this way. Fear ruled their nights, so fear ruled their lives. They never learned to expel enemy within. The master replaces fear with faith deliberately. He identifies it, names it, destroys it, and plants faith in its place. His subconscious multiplies courage. He rises stronger each morning. Opportunities move toward him. Allies appear. Infinite intelligence whispers. Fortune comes not because fear was absent, but because faith expelled it nightly. Affirm again, I banish fear. I sleep fearless. I awaken free. These words are weapon against devil. Speak them with conviction. Speak until subconscious trembles. Speak until courage rises. Repeat nightly until no fear can linger in subconscious. Faith will rule. Courage will multiply. Fortune will appear. Fear cannot survive repeated command of faith. Therefore I charge you, never end a day with fear unchallenged. Always confront it, name it, destroy it, replace it. Do not let it creep into subconscious, for it will grow into chains. Replace it with affirmations of faith, with visions of desire, with definiteness of purpose. Do this nightly, and fear will vanish forever. Every law of nature moves in rhythm. The seasons follow rhythm. The tides obey rhythm. The heartbeat moves in rhythm. Repetition engraves rhythm, and rhythm builds habit. The subconscious mind is governed by this same law. Whatever you repeat, fear or faith, defeat or victory, poverty or riches, becomes rhythm impressed upon your subconscious until it rules your destiny. Most men allow rhythm to enslave them. They repeat complaints daily. They rehearse worries nightly. They picture failure constantly. These repetitions engrave hypnotic rhythm of defeat. Subconscious accepts it, multiplies it, and directs life accordingly. They become prisoners not of fate, but of their own repeated thoughts. The devil laughs, for he owns them through rhythm. But rhythm can also be servant of freedom. When a man repeats affirmations of faith, visualizations of desire, and decisions of definiteness night after night, subconscious engraves rhythm of mastery. Soon it becomes impossible to quit, impossible to doubt, impossible to drift. Hypnotic rhythm of persistence drives him forward until fortune surrenders. The law is neutral. Choice is yours. Consider the man who reads his definite aim nightly. At first it feels mechanical. After a week, belief stirs faintly. After a month, emotion grows. After a year, subconscious has accepted it fully. His entire identity bends toward aim. This is hypnotic rhythm. What began as deliberate repetition becomes natural habit. Fortune must come, for law has been obeyed. Are you? Darby lacked rhythm. He quit 3 feet from gold. His subconscious had been engraved not with persistence, but with defeat. One failure repeated convinced him to surrender. Another man continued digging, repeating effort daily, building rhythm of persistence. He struck the vein and reaped millions. Rhythm made one master, the other slave. Edison's thousands of failures proved positive rhythm. Each day he tested, each night he affirmed, each morning he resumed. Repetition built rhythm of persistence so deep that quitting was impossible. Subconscious, saturated with faith, drove him forward. In time, rhythm carried him to invention. Light burned because one man understood law of repetition. Abraham Lincoln endured countless defeats, yet rhythm of faith carried him. He repeated belief in union so often that subconscious engraved it as identity. Each night he rehearsed vision of unity. Each day he renewed persistence. In time, hypnotic rhythm made him immovable. Critics mocked, enemies attacked, but rhythm drove him steadily forward. Exercise. Establish nightly rhythm of repetition. Read definite aim aloud. Repeat affirmations. Visualize desire. Decide tomorrow's act. Do this without fail. At first, it may feel forced. Continue. In weeks, subconscious will begin accepting. In months, rhythm will engrave habit. In years, you will find yourself incapable of drifting. Hypnotic rhythm will carry you. Affirm, my nightly rhythm is faith. Each night compounds power. Each morning I rise stronger. Speak it with conviction. Repeat until subconscious trembles with obedience. Continue nightly until it becomes nature. Soon faith will flow without effort. Courage will act without hesitation. Persistence will endure without thought. Rhythm will have transformed you into master. The drifter repeats fear nightly. He pictures bills, imagines failure, complains of fate. Subconscious engraves rhythm of despair. Soon he does not choose fear. It chooses him. He lives enslaved, not knowing chains were forged by his own repetitions. 98 men out of 100 perish in this way, bound not by masters, but by habits. The master repeats faith nightly. He impresses desire, affirms belief, visualizes victory, decides firmly. Subconscious engraves rhythm of mastery. Soon he no longer struggles to believe or persist. It has become nature. Opportunities come because he is ready. Allies join because his faith is magnetic. Fortune obeys because rhythm has bent reality to his will. John D. Rockefeller built rhythm of order. Night after night, he rehearsed vision of efficiency. His subconscious multiplied it until it became instinct. While others acted chaotically, he acted with discipline. Rhythm made him calm during panic, decisive during storms. His fortune was fruit of hypnotic rhythm planted deliberately. Henry Ford built rhythm of persistence. Lawsuits, ridicule, and fires could not stop him because subconscious had been engraved with habit of continuation. He repeated vision of cars for every man until belief became unshakable. Rhythm carried him over obstacles. His fortune was not sudden chance, but law of repetition obeyed. Affirm again. My nightly rhythm is faith. Each night compounds power. Each morning I rise stronger. These words, repeated without fail, will engrave themselves into subconscious. They will form rhythm that drives you forward when others stop, lifts you when others fall, and sustains you when others quit. Rhythm is the invisible power of persistence. Infinite intelligence responds most readily to rhythm of faith. One prayer whispered once may not move mountains, but faith repeated nightly with emotion engraves rhythm that opens channel to infinite intelligence. Guidance, hunches, and flashes flow through it. Many fortunes have begun as one repeated affirmation, multiplied by rhythm until subconscious demanded fulfillment. Therefore, I charge you, never allow fear to become rhythm of your nights. Replace it with faith. Repeat affirmations, visualizations, and decisions nightly. Continue until subconscious accepts them. Continue until habit is formed. Continue until hypnotic rhythm drives you forward without thought. Then fortune will come, not as miracle, but as law fulfilled. Words are powerful, but words alone are not enough. The subconscious responds most strongly to pictures charged with emotion. Whatever images you hold in mind, whether of poverty or of riches, of fear or of faith, are impressed deeply upon subconscious, which multiplies them into reality. Words are the seed, but pictures are the water and sunlight that make them grow. Most men go to bed with pictures of lack. They imagine creditors knocking at doors, children hungry at tables, supervisors scolding them, sickness advancing upon them. These images are vivid, painted in color, felt with emotion. Subconscious, receiving them, obeys with loyalty. It produces more want, more debt, more defeat. The man believes he is cursed, yet he himself painted his own misery. The wealthy close their eyes with pictures of fortune. They see their businesses expanding, their families secure, their homes abundant, their health radiant. They feel emotions of possession, gratitude, and peace. Subconscious, receiving such pictures, begins to act as though they were fact. Opportunities align, ideas appear, allies gather. Fortune is drawn to the vivid vision. Henry Ford pictured cars moving from assembly line long before factory existed. He saw families driving, roads filled, America transformed. He did not merely say it, he saw it. That picture, impressed nightly upon subconscious, guided him through ridicule, lawsuits, and fires. The picture was more powerful than obstacles. Subconscious obeyed image more than critics. John D. Rockefeller envisioned pipelines stretching across states when others saw only chaos of barrels and wagons. He pictured order, efficiency, and control. His subconscious accepted picture as fact and labored to fulfill it. In time, reality bent to image he painted within. His fortune was first pipeline drawn upon canvas of imagination. Thomas Edison rehearsed pictures of light filling homes. He saw darkness broken, mankind transformed. He sketched and dreamed, not only by day, but by night. His subconscious, saturated with images, drove him through thousands of experiments. Each failure was only another step toward picture engraved upon his mind. At last, light burned because image never dimmed. Exercise. Each night before sleep, Close eyes and picture definite chief aim complete. Do not see it vaguely. See exact sum in bank, exact home, exact freedom. Picture details, textures, sounds, smells. Feel emotions as though living it now. Subconscious will not question. It will accept picture and begin bending life to match. Affirm, I see my fortune vividly. My subconscious builds it as I rest. My pictures create my reality. Speak these words, then rehearse vision. Let pictures be last impression before sleep. In morning, subconscious will direct you toward them. Repeat nightly until images are burned into mind. They will become more real than present circumstance. The drifter paints pictures of fear. He sees himself ridiculed, failing, losing. He imagines illness, debt, betrayal. Subconscious accepts these pictures as law and multiplies them. He awakens discouraged, opportunities slip, failures repeat. He curses fate, never knowing he painted his own downfall. 98 men out of 100 perish because they rehearsed ruin instead of riches. The master paints pictures of faith. He sees fortune, health, allies, victory. He feels gratitude before possession. Subconscious engraves these pictures and labors to produce them. In morning, he awakens inspired. Allies join, opportunities move. Infinite intelligence whispers. He advances because his inner pictures are stronger than outward facts. Fortune bows to vivid images. Abraham Lincoln saw Union preserved even when nation was torn. He pictured unity, peace, and freedom. His subconscious, saturated with picture, gave him strength through despair. Critics mocked, enemies multiplied, yet vision never dimmed. He lived picture so vividly that it became reality. Without it, he would have surrendered. With it, he endured to victory. Charles Schwab pictured bold steel empire before it existed. He imagined scale, harmony, and power. His subconscious accepted image and directed him to speak decisively before Carnegie. One vision, rehearsed vividly, prepared him for moment of opportunity. Picture impressed by night became fortune by day. Such is power of wealth imagery. Affirm again. I see my fortune vividly. My subconscious builds it as I rest. My pictures create my reality. These are not idle words. They are commands to subconscious. Repeat until inner images are more vivid than outer fears. In time, pictures will direct actions. Actions will attract fortune. Fortune will fulfill vision rehearsed. Infinite intelligence answers vivid imagery. A faint wish receives no response. But a burning picture painted nightly with emotion becomes magnet. Ideas, hunches, flashes flow through subconscious. Many inventions, enterprises, and fortunes began as picture so clear it demanded fulfillment. The night is workshop, where images become commands to infinite intelligence. Therefore I charge you, never close eyes without painting vivid picture of fortune. Refuse vague wishes. Refuse pictures of fear. Deliberately choose images of desire fulfilled. Repeat until subconscious accepts them. Night after night, paint fortune upon canvas of mind. In time, reality will mirror picture. Fortune follows vision engraved in subconscious. There is a power greater than any single mind. It is the source from which all invention, all genius, all progress flows. I call it infinite intelligence. No man owns it, no man creates it, but every man may connect with it. It is the silent partner of those who dare to use faith, definiteness, and persistence. And the subconscious mind is the gateway. By day, men attempt to solve problems with reason alone. They strain, they struggle, they force, often they fail. By night, when conscious guard is relaxed, subconscious becomes open channel to infinite intelligence. Ideas, flashes, hunches, dreams, these are messages from partner unseen. Fortune crowns the man who listens and acts. Failure destroys the man who doubts or ignores. Thomas Edison trusted infinite intelligence. Many of his greatest inventions were not products of reasoning, but flashes in silence. He dozed with problem in mind and awoke with solution. Subconscious had connected with infinite intelligence, delivering answer beyond conscious effort. He acted boldly on flashes others dismissed, and world was transformed by his trust. Andrew Carnegie built empire not by knowledge alone, but by ideas that came as inspiration. He admitted often that solutions appeared suddenly, as though whispered by unseen counselor. He carried definite aims to bed, and subconscious, working in silence, opened door to infinite intelligence. Fortune was fruit of this partnership. Abraham Lincoln leaned upon infinite intelligence in darkest hours. Dreams came with symbols, warnings, guidance. He trusted impressions even when logic failed. His faith in higher guidance preserved him. Without that silent partner, the weight of war would have crushed him. With it, he endured and triumphed. Faith made subconscious gateway to infinite intelligence. Henry Ford relied on flashes of inspiration, many of which came at night. His subconscious, saturated with vision of cars for every man, connected with infinite intelligence, guiding him through obstacles reason called impossible. Critics laughed, experts doubted, but faith and inner guidance carried him. He trusted silent partner more than noisy opposition. Most men ignore this power. They close ears to hunches, dismiss dreams, ridicule intuition. They trust only facts of day. They live as slaves to reason, never rising above mediocrity. Subconscious whispers. Infinite intelligence knocks, but they refuse to listen. Fortune passes them by. The devil owns them because they doubt the silent partner. The wealthy cultivate connection. They quiet minds before sleep, carrying definite aim with faith. They ask questions of subconscious and await answers by night. They record impressions, trust flashes, and act. Infinite intelligence responds only to definiteness and faith. Vague wishes receive no answer. Doubt closes door. Faith opens it wide. Exercise. Each night, present subconscious with definite question. Write it clearly, speak it aloud, carry it into sleep. Expect answer. In morning, record impressions, flashes, dreams. Do not dismiss them. Often the simplest hunch contains seed of fortune. Repeat nightly until channel grows clear. Infinite intelligence will respond when subconscious is prepared. Affirm, infinite intelligence guides me nightly. My subconscious is open channel. I ask, I believe I receive, speak it before sleep. Carry it into subconscious. Repeat until you feel assurance. In time, guidance will flow naturally. Ideas will arrive when needed. Solutions will appear. Allies will be drawn. Fortune will come as answer to faith. The drifter closes himself to infinite intelligence. He fills nights with fear, doubt, and complaint. His subconscious is clogged with poison. Channel is blocked. He receives no flashes, no guidance, no hunches. He mocks those who speak of inspiration, calling them dreamers. In truth, he is the dreamer, lost in nightmare of drifting. The master trusts silent partner. He presents definite aim, repeats affirmations of faith, visualizes fortune, and expects guidance. His subconscious becomes open channel and infinite intelligence flows. He acts upon impressions boldly. The world calls him genius, but he knows genius is partnership with infinite intelligence. He is faithful steward, not originator. Charles Schwab's bold speech that created U.S. Steel was fruit of inspiration. His subconscious, saturated with definite desire and faith, opened channel. Infinite intelligence supplied words with power to move Carnegie. He trusted impulse, spoke decisively, and fortune was born. The crowd called it luck. In truth, it was law. John D. Rockefeller trusted impressions when guiding empire through storms. His subconscious, rehearsed with order and efficiency, connected with infinite intelligence. Solutions came swiftly, often in moments of silence. He acted decisively on them while competitors doubted. His fortune was secured because he listened to silent partner when others trusted only noisy fear. Affirm again, infinite intelligence guides me nightly. My subconscious is open channel. I ask, I believe, I receive these words in grave faith. Repeat nightly until channel clears. Trust impressions. Act boldly. Infinite intelligence never fails. Only doubt blocks its power. Faith connects you to fountain of all riches. Therefore I charge you, never waste nights in silence of fear. Present definite aim. Ask for guidance. Expect answer. Trust impressions. Act. Make infinite intelligence your partner. Subconscious is gateway. Faith is key. Definiteness is password. Use them nightly and fortune will flow. Refuse and you drift blind. Choose wisely, for law does not fail. Words are not mere sounds. Words are living commands. Each word spoken with feeling is instruction to subconscious mind. By day, men speak carelessly, but by night their words are engraved most deeply. For conscious guard is lowered, and subconscious listens without resistance. Words spoken in final hour before sleep become laws written upon destiny. Most men destroy themselves with their own language. They say, I am tired, I am poor, I cannot, and subconscious obeys. They mutter, tomorrow will be hard, life is unfair, I have no chance, and subconscious accepts orders. Each word is seed. Spoken often enough, it becomes hypnotic rhythm. The man harvests exactly what he commanded unknowingly. The wealthy guard their words as kings guard treasures. They refuse idle complaint. They refuse self-criticism. They refuse words of defeat. They know subconscious does not laugh, does not joke, does not question, it obeys. Every statement spoken with feeling is blueprint. To speak wrongly is to build chains. To speak rightly is to build fortune. John D. Rockefeller practiced discipline of speech. He seldom spoke in haste. His words were measured, deliberate, definite. Critics mocked his silence, but he knew that careless language is poison. Subconscious engraves it as law. Fortune answered his restraint because his words directed his inner servant with precision, not confusion. Henry Ford declared boldly that cars would be built for every man. Experts ridiculed him, yet he repeated it until subconscious accepted it. Each word was command. He did not say, I will try. He said, I will. Fortune obeys men who speak in certainty. His subconscious, saturated with definite words, directed imagination, persistence, and faith toward fulfillment. Abraham Lincoln spoke with deliberate faith in union. He did not say, perhaps the union may survive. He said, the union must and shall be preserved. His words, spoken with conviction, engraved themselves upon subconscious and nation alike. Even in despair, he repeated words of faith. Subconscious obeyed, and history crowned him savior of union. Words at night are most dangerous when careless. A quarrel, a complaint, a whispered fear, all become orders to subconscious. The man who ends day saying, I am finished, I am hopeless, I cannot, will awaken weaker. His subconscious will act as commanded. By his own words, he builds defeat. The devil needs no more than careless tongue. Exercise. Each night, choose final words carefully. Write them if needed. Speak affirmations aloud with feeling. Say, I am master. I am definite. I command riches. I am free. Repeat until emotion stirs. Let no idle word follow. Sleep with these as final commands. Subconscious will engrave them as law, and fortune will obey. Affirm. My last words each night are commands of faith and fortune. My subconscious obeys instantly. Speak this before reciting chief aim. Believe it. Repeat until conviction is strong. Words spoken nightly will become identity. Identity will shape action. Action will attract fortune. All begins with language at gate of night. The drifter speaks words of complaint. He mutters, I cannot, I am unlucky, life is cruel. Subconscious accepts and builds destiny accordingly. He awakens with heaviness, continues with failure, dies in poverty. He blames fate. never knowing his tongue was weapon used against himself. 98 men out of 100 perish by their own words. The master speaks words of command. He says, I can, I will, I must. He affirms wealth, faith, definiteness. Subconscious accepts and multiplies. He awakens with courage, acts with persistence, builds fortune. Others call him lucky. In truth, he spoke his destiny into being. His words were tools, not weapons. His subconscious obeyed. Thomas Edison declared, I will find light. He repeated certainty, though failures multiplied. Each declaration impressed subconscious, directing persistence. Words were not idle, they were commands. At last, invention appeared because words engraved belief that guided subconscious to solution. Light exists because one man refused words of defeat. Charles Schwab's speech before Carnegie created U.S. Steel. Words spoken boldly with definiteness impressed his subconscious and moved others. That single speech birthed billion-dollar enterprise. Words are not mere breath. They are power to move subconscious and men alike. Spoken with faith, they open fortunes. Spoken carelessly, they close them. Affirm again, my last words each night are commands of faith and fortune. My subconscious obeys instantly. Repeat until conviction is strong. Refuse idle speech. Refuse complaint. Refuse fear. Make language your tool, not your enemy. End each day with words that direct subconscious to wealth. In time, fortune will mirror language spoken. Infinite intelligence also answers words. A vague plea is ignored, but a definite command spoken with faith opens channel. Prayer without faith is wasted breath. Command with belief moves mountains. Night is sacred time to speak with infinite intelligence through subconscious. Choose words carefully, for they will be delivered as orders. Therefore I charge you, never again waste final words of day. End with faith, not fear, definiteness, not doubt. Speak affirmations of purpose, commands of wealth. Let subconscious engrave them. Let infinite intelligence answer them. Fortune will come not by accident, but by law. For words are not sounds. They are destiny written by tongue. The mastermind principle is the secret engine behind every great fortune. A single mind is limited. It sees only so far, imagines only so much, persists only so long. But when two or more minds unite in harmony, a new mind is created, a greater mind that draws upon infinite intelligence. This invisible power has raised men from obscurity to mastery. By day, the mastermind is visible in meetings, councils, and alliances. Men speak, plan, and combine talents. But by night, the mastermind continues in silence. The conversations, emotions, and purposes of allies remain in subconscious, echoing through dreams. Sleep does not sever harmony, it deepens it. The subconscious carries influence of allies into workshop of night. Andrew Carnegie admitted openly that he owed his fortune to his mastermind group. He surrounded himself with men of knowledge greater than his own. Their counsel by day continued in his subconscious by night. He awoke often with ideas that were not his alone, but fruit of silent masterminds still active in sleep. Fortune was multiplied by harmony. Thomas Edison drew strength from associates in laboratory. They shared failures, discussed possibilities, pursued vision of light. At night, their ideas lingered. Edison's subconscious carried not only his thoughts, but theirs as well, mixing them into flashes of inspiration. Many inventions were fruits of silent mastermind that worked while bodies rested. Henry Ford united with mechanical geniuses and financiers. His mastermind was not confined to daylight hours. At night, his subconscious replayed their words, combined their ideas, and connected them with his vision. Silent mastermind continued in workshop of sleep, guiding him to solutions critics called impossible. His empire was built both by meetings and by dreams. Abraham Lincoln's cabinet of rivals became mastermind of wisdom. Their arguments, insights, and warnings shaped his decisions. At night, Lincoln's subconscious replayed counsel, combined it with faith in union, and produced impressions that guided him. Dreams gave warnings, hunches gave courage. Silent mastermind preserved him when weight of nation could have destroyed him. Most men do not understand this law. They surround themselves with complainers, doubters, and cynics. Their words echo in subconscious through the night, poisoning visions and breeding fear. Silent mastermind of drifters multiplies weakness. In morning, the man rises discouraged, his courage stolen by companions of failure. He never sees that his company shapes his dreams. The wealthy choose allies with care. They know voices heard by day continue by night. They refuse drifters, critics, and cynics. They unite only with men of faith, definiteness, and courage. Their subconscious, saturated with harmony, carries mastermind into sleep. Silent mastermind becomes source of flashes, guidance, and strength. Fortune answers harmony, not discord. Exercise. Reflect each night on company kept. Ask, did these voices strengthen me or weaken me? If they poisoned faith, resolve to limit their influence. Replace with books, speeches, or affirmations of men of purpose. Consciously invite allies into silent mastermind by reflecting on their words before sleep. Let subconscious carry harmony into night. Affirm, in sleep, my mastermind alliance continues. We grow even in silence. Our harmony multiplies through night. Speak this before rest. Picture allies standing with you, sharing your purpose, combining strength. Let subconscious carry image. You will awaken feeling supported even when alone. Silent mastermind will continue to labor for your fortune. The drifter isolates himself or surrounds himself with fools. His subconscious carries only poison into night. Silent mastermind multiplies weakness, not strength. He awakes timid, indecisive, and fearful. He blames fate, never knowing he chose company that enslaved him. 98 men out of 100 perish because they never formed mastermind of harmony. The master cultivates alliances of faith. He chooses men who inspire courage, who multiply vision, who persist in defeat. Their words and spirits follow him into sleep. Subconscious engraves harmony. Infinite intelligence flows through channel. Silent mastermind continues in darkness, building plans, shaping courage, preparing fortune. Morning reveals strength of alliance unseen. Charles Schwab's boldness was strengthened by harmony with Carnegie and steel magnates. Their united vision became empire. At night, Schwab's subconscious replayed their counsel, combining it with his daring spirit. Silent mastermind carried him into opportunities. His speech, his leadership, his fortune were fruits not of himself alone, but of harmony engraved by night. Rockefeller's empire grew because he attracted men of talent and discipline. He was not solitary genius, but master of cooperation. At night, his subconscious was filled with counsel of allies. Silent mastermind continued when meetings ended. Solutions appeared, impressions guided, courage multiplied. His empire was not built alone. It was built by harmony that never slept. Affirm again. In sleep, my mastermind alliance continues. We grow even in silence. Our harmony multiplies through night. Repeat until subconscious accepts truth. You will feel companionship even in solitude, strength even in weakness, courage even in fear. Silent mastermind will labor faithfully as long as harmony is maintained. Discord will destroy it instantly. Infinite intelligence responds most strongly to united minds. A single man may receive flashes, but a group united in harmony creates channel of far greater power. Silent mastermind by night becomes magnet drawing ideas, opportunities, and allies. Fortunes appear suddenly to men of harmony, while drifters wonder why they are left in darkness. Therefore I charge you, never waste company on drifters. Choose allies of faith, definiteness, and courage. Guard harmony by day, carry it into night. Let subconscious continue mastermind in silence. Wake knowing you are not alone. Fortune will be multiplied, strength will be doubled, Courage will be renewed. Silent mastermind will labor for you. Every man lives according to identity he has accepted in his subconscious. Identity is the hidden script that directs decisions, shapes actions, and determines destiny. Some see themselves as slaves of wages, others as creators of fortunes. Some picture themselves as weak, others as strong. Whatever picture subconscious accepts as I am becomes law. Identity is not fixed at birth. It is formed by repetition of thought, word, and image. By day, identity is shaped by experiences, associations, and habits. But by night, identity is impressed most deeply. When conscious guard is lowered, subconscious receives final thoughts as definition of self. Each night, man tells subconscious who he is. Subconscious obeys. The poor man rehearses identity of poverty nightly. He says, I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky. He imagines bills, fears tomorrow, sees himself as victim. Subconscious accepts identity as law and builds life to match. He awakens poorer in spirit, weaker in courage, smaller in vision. His poverty is not just condition, it is identity. The wealthy rehearse identity of mastery. They affirm, I am definite, I am master, I am rich in mind, rich in purpose, rich in destiny. They picture themselves as builders, leaders, and givers. Subconscious engraves identity, and all actions align. They awaken stronger, bolder, surer. Wealth flows to them because wealth has already been accepted as identity. Barnes believed himself Edison's partner long before it was fact. He carried identity of partner, not employee, into every dream and thought. His subconscious accepted it, and actions aligned. Opportunity appeared because identity demanded it. Thousands who worked beside Edison saw themselves as employees. They remained so. Identity separated Barnes from the crowd. Lincoln saw himself as savior of union. He did not accept identity of failure, though defeats multiplied. His nightly reflections on purpose engraved identity of leader. Subconscious sustained him. Infinite intelligence answered him. History crowned him. Without identity of savior, he would have surrendered. With it, he endured until union was preserved. Edison saw himself as inventor, not laborer. He accepted identity of genius, not failure. Thousands of defeats could not change picture within. Subconscious engraved identity so deeply that surrender was impossible. Invention was inevitable because identity had already defined him as creator of light. He did not hope, he accepted. Exercise. Each night before sleep, declare identity aloud. Say, I am master, I am wealthy, I am definite, I am free. Repeat until emotion stirs. Picture self as already living aim. Feel confidence, peace, and certainty. Let these impressions be final thoughts. Subconscious will engrave identity and life will align. Affirm, I am master, I am wealthy, I am definite, I am free. Speak with conviction. Do not whisper timidly. Declare boldly. Subconscious responds to strength. Repeat until words feel natural. In time, you will no longer try to believe, you will know. Identity will have shifted, destiny will follow identity. The drifter carries identity of slave. He says, I cannot, I am weak, I am unlucky. Subconscious engraves identity. He awakens timid, acts cowardly, attracts defeat. He blames fate, never knowing he declared himself slave nightly. 98 men out of 100 perish this way, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they accepted wrong identity. The master declares identity of freedom. He says, I am definite, I am wealthy, I am master. Subconscious engraves it. He awakens with courage, acts with persistence, attracts allies. Fortune obeys because man already sees himself as master. The world reflects identity accepted within. 2% of men live this truth. Henry Ford saw himself as builder of cars for all men long before factory existed. Identity of builder drove him through ridicule, lawsuits, and fires. Subconscious engraved identity so deeply that quitting was impossible. He became what he already believed himself to be. Identity was prophecy fulfilled. John D. Rockefeller accepted identity of organizer and master of efficiency. He did not picture himself as weak competitor. He saw himself as builder of order. Subconscious accepted identity and guided every decision. His fortune was not accident, but fruit of identity rehearsed nightly until it became law. Affirm again, I am master, I am wealthy, I am definite, I am free. Repeat nightly until subconscious accepts. In morning, act accordingly. Soon you will notice courage where fear once lived, persistence where quitting once tempted, opportunity where obstacles once blocked. Life will mirror new identity because subconscious cannot disobey. Infinite intelligence responds most powerfully to identity. A man who says, I am poor, but I hope to be rich, receives nothing. A man who says, I am master, I am rich in purpose, I am definite, opens channel to infinite intelligence. Identity creates vibration of faith. Hunches, allies, and ideas flow to confirm it. Therefore, I charge you, never again end day with weak identity. Expel thoughts of slavery, refuse words of defeat, declare boldly who you are and who you will remain. Engrave it nightly. Repeat until subconscious accepts. Identity will shift, and with it, destiny. Wealth begins not in bank, but in mind. Identity decides all. Dreams are not accidents. They are the language of the subconscious, and through subconscious, the whispers of infinite intelligence. While the conscious mind sleeps, the subconscious continues its ceaseless labor, shaping desires, multiplying faith, rehearsing decisions, and presenting messages in form of dreams. To dismiss dreams as idle fancies is to close ear to guidance of destiny. Many of the world's greatest advances were born in dreams. Elias Howe saw the solution to sewing machine needle in vision. Abraham Lincoln dreamed of his own danger and treated it as warning. Inventors, leaders, and creators through history have testified that dreams carried messages, symbols, and ideas that reason could not provide. The night is counselor. Most men, however, ignore their dreams. They treat them as meaningless, forgetting them at dawn, laughing at their strangeness. Their subconscious speaks, infinite intelligence whispers, yet they refuse to listen. Fortune passes them by. The devil is pleased, for men who scorn their own dreams scorn one of the richest channels of guidance ever given to them. The wealthy treat dreams as messengers. They record them, reflect upon them, draw lessons. They understand that subconscious speaks in symbols, that infinite intelligence delivers flashes beyond logic. They carry definite chief aim into sleep, knowing subconscious will labor upon it and reveal answers in dreams. They awaken with guidance, while drifters awaken with confusion. Thomas Edison trusted impressions from sleep. He often woke with ideas vivid as though given by unseen hand. His subconscious, connected to infinite intelligence, had used hours of rest to solve problems. He acted upon impressions instead of dismissing them. This is why his genius seemed endless. He listened tonight as faithfully as today. Andrew Carnegie admitted that flashes of ideas came in quiet moments and dreams. He did not ridicule them. He tested, acted, and found them fruitful. His subconscious, charged with definite aim of empire, connected with infinite intelligence by night. Fortune came not from chance, but from obedience to dreams as messengers of wealth. Abraham Lincoln received warnings in dreams. He dreamed of White House filled with mourners days before his assassination. He spoke of it openly. Dreams did not prevent fate in this case, but they proved subconscious had connected with infinite intelligence, offering knowledge beyond reason. He listened, though others laughed. Dreams are channels not to be ignored. Exercise. Keep journal beside bed. Upon waking, record every dream, no matter how strange. Reflect upon symbols. Ask, does this dream answer my definite aim? Does it warn, encourage, or guide? Over time, patterns will appear. Subconscious will reveal guidance. Infinite intelligence will deliver messages. Fortune will be closer because you listened. Affirm, my dreams guide me. I listen. I act. Infinite intelligence speaks through my sleep. Repeat this before rest. Carry it into subconscious. Expect dreams to bring guidance. Record faithfully. Act boldly when impressions are clear. In time, you will find answers arriving by night as surely as by day. Dreams will become allies. The drifter dismisses dreams. He wakes and forgets. He laughs at visions, mocks symbols, ridicules hunches. His subconscious stops delivering guidance. Infinite intelligence remains silent. He lives blind, stumbling in darkness, enslaved to chance. He wonders why fortune escapes him. The answer is plain. He ignored messengers of wealth. The master respects dreams. He records them, reflects on them, acts when appropriate. He feeds subconscious with definite aim, faith, and decision before sleep, and dreams return multiplied. He interprets with care, discards nonsense, but treasures flashes. In time, his fortune grows as a result of guidance from night. Dreams are not idle. They are wealth in symbols. Henry Ford acted upon many impressions from subconscious. Though not always dreams, they were products of subconscious work by night. He expected answers, and answers came. He trusted flashes when others doubted. His empire was built not only with machines, but with guidance delivered by silent hours of rest. Charles Schwab's decisive speech may have been prepared in dreams. Subconscious, saturated with desire and faith, rehearsed possibilities by night. When moment came, words flowed with conviction. Dreams had shaped courage. Fortune answered because subconscious had worked faithfully while body rested. Dreams prepare men for opportunity unseen by conscious mind. Affirm again, my dreams guide me. I listen, I act. Infinite intelligence speaks through my sleep. Repeat until subconscious accepts it. In time, dreams will grow clearer, guidance surer, courage stronger. You will awaken with impressions impossible to ignore. Act upon them. Fortune will appear not by magic, but by law. Infinite intelligence chooses dreams as language because conscious mind resists. In sleep, resistance falls and truth is delivered. Many answers are given in symbols because mind understands better through pictures. To dismiss is folly, to reflect is wisdom. The greatest fortunes of men who listened prove dreams are messengers, not accidents. Therefore I charge you, never again dismiss your dreams. Record them, study them, listen to them. Feed subconscious with definite aim before sleep and expect answers. Trust impressions when faith is strong. Infinite intelligence will speak through symbols, warnings, ideas, and courage. Dreams will guide you to fortune if you respect them as messengers. The subconscious mind is like a fertile field. Whatever seed is planted will grow, whether it be wheat or weeds, riches or ruin. By day, you may reject some impressions, but by night, the gate is open wide. In those final minutes before sleep, whatever enters becomes planted deeply. Guarding that gate is therefore the duty of any man who seeks fortune. Most men fail at this sacred duty. They end the day with gossip, arguments, fear-filled talk, or news of disaster. These impressions, accepted at the threshold of sleep, are carried into subconscious. By morning, they have taken root. The man awakens discouraged, heavy, uncertain. He blames chance, never realizing he poisoned his own field before sleeping. The wealthy guard their nights as kings guard treasures. They refuse to allow fear, complaint, or idle talk to be last impressions. They end day with faith, definiteness, and gratitude. Their subconscious receives strong seeds and multiplies them by morning. Guarding the gate is habit that separates master from slave, wealthy from poor, free from bound. John D. Rockefeller was careful with company he kept and words he heard. He understood that poison from careless companions could linger. At night, he reviewed order, efficiency, and vision. His subconscious received impressions of calm and mastery, not panic and doubt. This discipline was one of unseen foundations of his empire. Henry Ford refused to indulge in words of failure. He guarded his mind against ridicule of experts. Each night he reaffirmed vision of cars for every man. By guarding the gate of night, he prevented poison from critics from taking root. His subconscious received only certainty. Fortune obeyed certainty, not ridicule. Abraham Lincoln, during darkest hours of war, was assaulted by voices of despair. Yet he guarded his night with faith in union. He refused to allow poison of doubt to be last impression. He rehearsed vision of unity and freedom. His subconscious, fed with faith, sustained him. Without this discipline, he would have surrendered. Guarding the gate preserved destiny. The drifter fills nights with poison. He argues, he worries, he consumes tales of fear. His subconscious accepts poison as law. He awakens fearful, defeated, drifting. He wonders why fortune avoids him, never realizing he poisoned his own gate. 98 men out of 100 fall because they left subconscious unguarded at night. Exercise. Each evening, examine what impressions you are about to carry into sleep. Ask, are these seeds of faith or poison of fear? Refuse gossip, refuse complaint, refuse news of disaster. Replace with affirmations, visualizations, and definite aim. Guard gate deliberately. Subconscious will multiply only what you admit. Affirm, I guard my night. Only faith enters. Only wealth remains. Speak this before bed. Repeat until conviction grows. Refuse to allow final word of day to be complaint. End with command of faith. Subconscious will obey. Guarding the gate is not minor. It is foundation of fortune. Charles Schwab knew importance of harmony. He refused discordant influences in critical hours. His subconscious, filled with boldness and unity, prepared him for decisive speech. Guarding gate against poison allowed him to act with conviction when opportunity appeared. His fortune was fruit not only of boldness, but of discipline over impressions. The wealthy know that subconscious is like faithful servant. It will accept last command and carry it out. If last command is fear, it will multiply fear. If last command is faith, it will multiply faith. Guarding gate is responsibility no man can escape. Destiny depends upon it. Infinite intelligence responds to faith, not fear. If you close day with impressions of fear, you close channel. If you end with faith, you open channel. Guarding gate is therefore not only protection, but invitation. It invites infinite intelligence to speak freely during night. Those who guard wisely receive flashes, guidance, and fortune. Affirm again, I guard my night. Only faith enters. Only wealth remains. These words, repeated nightly, become shield. They close gate against poison, open door to fortune. Speak them with conviction. In time, subconscious will accept them as law. You will awaken lighter, stronger, surer. Fortune will flow because you guarded night faithfully. Therefore, I charge you, never again neglect the gate of night. Refuse poison, refuse fear, refuse careless words. Choose faith, choose definiteness, choose gratitude. Guard impressions as sacred duty. For as you end day, so you begin next. And as you begin each day, so you build destiny. Guarding the gate is guarding fortune. The laws of wealth never reward a single action alone. One night of faith, one declaration of definiteness, one picture of riches may plant a seed, but it is the repeated watering that produces harvest. The subconscious is faithful servant, but it requires persistence. 30 consecutive nights of deliberate practice will engrave habits so deep that fortune must obey. Most men make promise once and forget. They speak affirmation timidly, picture riches faintly, then drift back to fear. Subconscious cannot engrave habit from a single spark. It requires steady flame. Just as body grows strong from repeated exercise, mind grows rich from repeated nightly commands. 30 nights in succession create hypnotic rhythm of wealth. Consider the laborer who ends day in worry. For 30 nights he rehearses bills, mistakes, fears. Subconscious engraves poverty as law. He awakens poorer, works harder, and repeats cycle. After 30 nights, rhythm of defeat rules him. He cannot escape until he deliberately breaks cycle. 30 nights of poison engrave slavery as surely as 30 nights of faith engrave freedom. The wealthy understand compounding. They know that persistence multiplies. 30 nights of definite affirmations, visualizations, and decisions create habit. Subconscious, saturated, bends entire nature toward riches. Courage strengthens, fear weakens, opportunity appears, allies gather. 30 nights may seem short, yet they are enough to create new identity that commands fortune. Thomas Edison persisted through thousands of failures, but each day and night he repeated belief in light. 30 nights became hundreds, but rhythm built. Subconscious engraved persistence until quitting was impossible. At last, invention obeyed rhythm. Light shone because one man compounded faith nightly. Without compounding, failure would have been final. Henry Ford endured ridicule, lawsuits, fires, yet he rehearsed vision nightly, cars for every man. 30 nights became habit. Habit became rhythm. Rhythm became destiny. Subconscious, saturated, drove him forward. Critics fell silent because rhythm of persistence outlasted them. Fortune bowed to compounding power of nightly repetition. Andrew Carnegie saw himself master of steel long before fortune appeared. Nightly he reviewed vision, repeated affirmations, rehearsed definiteness. 30 nights engraved identity of master. Subconscious labored, infinite intelligence answered, allies appeared. His empire was not sudden chance, but fruit of compounded practice. Rhythm of wealth built empire brick by brick in mind first. Exercise, commit now to 30 nights of deliberate ritual. Each night before sleep, read definite aim aloud, affirm faith, picture fortune vividly, decide tomorrow's act, and speak identity. Refuse poison, refuse doubt. Record progress daily. After 30 nights, subconscious will be saturated. Rhythm will be set. Wealth identity will be engraved. Affirm each night compounds. My fortune grows silently until revealed. I persist 30 nights, and riches obey, speak this as pledge. Repeat nightly until conviction burns. At first, change may be faint. Continue. After 30 nights, you will notice courage growing, ideas flowing, opportunities aligning. Compounding will have shifted destiny. The drifter quits after 2 nights. He says it does not work. He returns to fear. Subconscious engraves rhythm of doubt. He remains slave. He blames method, mocks law, excuses himself. In truth, he lacked persistence to complete 30 nights. 98 men out of 100 perish because they never allowed compounding to engrave faith. The master persists 30 nights and beyond. He refuses to quit when change is unseen. He trusts law of compounding. He knows that seed requires time. Habit requires repetition. Fortune requires persistence. Subconscious engraves rhythm, infinite intelligence responds, and sudden breakthrough appears. Master is crowned because he endured discipline of 30 nights. Abraham Lincoln endured despair night after night, but he repeated faith in union. 30 nights became years, but subconscious engraved persistence. He could not quit because identity was savior. Compounding gave him strength. His triumph was not single act, but fruit of nightly faith multiplied into rhythm. Charles Schwab rehearsed boldness until it became nature. He compounded courage nightly until subconscious engraved it. When moment came to speak before Carnegie, words flowed with power. Fortune appeared because rhythm of 30 nights had prepared him. His empire was fruit of compounded identity rehearsed faithfully. Affirm again, each night compounds. My fortune grows silently until revealed. I persist 30 nights, and riches obey repeat until subconscious accepts pledge. Continue beyond 30 nights. Discipline will engrave rhythm so deeply that drifting becomes impossible. You will find yourself acting boldly, deciding swiftly, persisting naturally. Wealth will follow law of compounding. Infinite intelligence honors persistence. One faint wish does not move mountains. 30 nights of faith engrave vibration strong enough to open channel. Flashes, hunches, guidance flow through it. Many fortunes have appeared suddenly after season of persistence. Law was obeyed. Compounding created momentum and destiny bent. Therefore I charge you, commit to 30 nights. Do not falter, do not excuse. Guard gate, rehearse aim, affirm faith, picture fortune. Continue until rhythm is set. 30 nights will engrave new identity, new destiny, new fortune. Refuse and you drift. Obey and you rise. Compounding is law. Law never fails. Morning is mirror of night. Whatever seed was planted before sleep becomes fruit at dawn. If you sowed fear, you awaken heavy. If you sowed faith, you awaken strong. Subconscious labors faithfully through night, shaping destiny according to last command. Morning reveals whether you guarded gate or allowed poison. Each sunrise proves law of nightly impression. Most men awaken already defeated. They rise tired, confused, and heavy with dread. Their first thoughts are of bills, burdens, and doubts. This is not chance. It is harvest of what they planted before sleep. They rehearsed worry, indulged fear, repeated complaint. Subconscious multiplied it. Morning simply revealed obedience of faithful servant. The wealthy awaken with calm assurance. They rise with certainty, vision clear, courage strong. Their first thoughts are of opportunities, definite aims, and gratitude. This is no accident. They guarded gate, fed subconscious with faith, rehearsed wealth. Subconscious labored all night, aligning impressions with infinite intelligence. Morning proves discipline of night. Henry Ford often rose with flashes of ideas. His subconscious, saturated with vision of cars for all men, labored through night. Morning brought guidance, solutions, and courage. Critics wondered at his certainty, but it was fruit of nightly law. Morning was proof of faith impressed before sleep. John D. Rockefeller awoke calm even in panic. Subconscious, filled with order and efficiency, labored while he slept. Morning gave him strategies, courage, and calm that competitors lacked. While others awakened to fear, he awakened to order. Fortune followed calm assurance. Morning was proof of nightly discipline. Abraham Lincoln endured darkest nights of war, yet he awakened with renewed strength. His subconscious, fed with vision of union, labored faithfully. Morning gave him courage to face despair. Without nightly rehearsal of faith, he would have surrendered. Morning was proof that subconscious, guided by faith, can sustain even in greatest storms. The drifter awakens restless. He feels weak, uncertain, delayed. He curses alarm, dreads work, fears day. He blames body, fate, circumstances. In truth, his night prepared failure. Subconscious obeyed his fears, engraved defeat, and delivered it at dawn. Morning exposes slavery to drifting. 98 men out of 100 awaken this way. The master awakens renewed. He rises with energy, clarity, and peace. He looks forward with faith. His subconscious obeyed commands of definiteness, faith, and gratitude. Morning reveals harvest of discipline. His day flows with opportunity, allies, and courage. The world calls him lucky, but morning proves law was obeyed. Exercise. Each morning, record first thoughts and feelings. Ask, do they reveal faith or fear, definiteness or drifting? If fear dominates, examine what was planted night before. Adjust nightly ritual accordingly. Use mornings as mirror to test discipline. Morning always tells truth about night. Affirm, each night I build. Each morning I rise greater. I am master of wealth. Speak this at dawn. Let first words be commands of faith. Refuse complaint or fear as opening note of day. Subconscious will obey and carry rhythm forward. Morning will become launch of fortune, not burden of defeat. Charles Schwab awakened with boldness. Subconscious, saturated with vision of steel empire, gave him courage. His morning was not accident. It was proof of nights rehearsed with definiteness. When opportunity came to speak before Carnegie, he was ready. Morning had prepared him long before day of destiny arrived. Thomas Edison awakened to pursue thousands of failures with persistence. Subconscious, filled with picture of light, renewed courage each morning. Others would have quit. He continued because morning confirmed vision rehearsed nightly. At last, invention appeared. Morning was proof of persistence engraved by night. The wealthy use morning as compass. They do not stumble into day confused. They rise with clarity of purpose. Their first thoughts direct them. They plan, decide, and act with assurance. Morning is not wasted. It is sacred hour when subconscious hands them fruit of nightly labor. They harvest impressions and act swiftly. The drifter wastes morning in delay. He lingers, complains, and drifts. Subconscious gave him confusion because he planted confusion. He ignores mirror, wasting chance to correct. His day repeats yesterday, his tomorrow repeats today. He never awakens transformed because he never disciplined night. Morning condemns him as slave. Affirm again, each night I build. Each morning I rise greater. I am master of wealth. Repeat until conviction burns. Let morning prove discipline of night. Refuse to waste first thoughts. Capture them, direct them, command them. Subconscious has delivered. Now act. Morning is launch of destiny when night was disciplined. Infinite intelligence often delivers flashes at dawn. The moment between sleep and waking is sacred. Subconscious hands messages, impressions, guidance. Many men ignore them, rushing into noise. Masters pause, reflect, record. They treasure flashes, act upon them. Fortunes have been born in dawn because man respected morning as proof of nightly law. Therefore I charge you, never again waste a night, for every morning reveals its fruit. Guard gate, plant faith, rehearse definiteness. Rise with gratitude, act with courage, trust impressions. Morning will prove law. You will awaken transformed, not by miracle, but by obedience to nightly discipline. Wealth will be harvest, for law never fails.